Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. I am out of bed, Miss Patty. Not because I want to be, but apparently it's not proper to do a national show from your bed in your pajamas. I don't know who makes the rules. I didn't agree to those rules, but here we are. So this morning I did a post on Facebook, and I mean it was too cute not to do. It really was. Here, let me show you guys. It was really cute. I tagged the show in it, so if you're watching, you should have seen it. But it's okay. It's okay if you didn't. You need to just do a little better. It's okay. I'm here for you though. So this morning I posted a picture. I was kind of laying there and I was scrolling through my news feed and texting people and all the things that you have to do, to people. And Charlotte just came jumping up and she crawled right in between my arms and grabbed that phone out of my hand. Thank you, Miss Patty. I'm glad that you did not make those rules because I did not either. And so I made a post and I just said it was one of those mornings where you'd rather just do the show from bed. And it certainly was, because I don't know why. As the kids say, it was slapping hard today. Apparently that's like a thing that the hip kids say when something that you like is, man, that slaps good. I guess the bed was slapping. How I know my teenagers are not in earshot, because there was no groaning and telling me to go into a hole. They love it when I use their language. It makes them realize that I really am hip with the cool kids. Oh yeah, I have no idea where they are. I should have had something thrown at me by now. I tell you guys this all the time. I have the greatest kids in the world. I really do. Yesterday, I think it was just as we were getting off of the air. Sometimes when we have I am hip and not just the one that goes out all the time. We were talking off the air, Patty and Rachel and Walt and I, and all of a sudden I hear in the other room the kids doing their chores. I know, we were all shocked. And by the way, Miss Patty, they did not want anything. They wanted to do their stuff so that they could get it out of the way. And then I made a joke later to somebody else. I said, man, y'all need to be watching for Jesus, because this stuff didn't happen. I'm just saying, like, just watch that eastern sky a little bit, because something big's about to happen. And all teasing. But they really are amazing kids. They are. I'm pretty blessed. Now I have to show you guys. This is my latest mom collection. There is an app on that you can download on your phone. I get no royalties from this. I just like to share things that I find with you guys, because that's who I am. Okay, so it's that one right there that looks like a gift. It's called the Gifts app. Free Prince Gifts. And so I thought, well, I'll give it a shot. So once a month you get a free item as a gift, and you can put your own pictures and all that kind of stuff on it. And I was trying to print some pictures of like the littles and stuff, because we got tons of pictures of the big ones, but we have tons of pictures of the little ones. It's just not printed. They're on social media. Anyway, so I got this blanket for free and I was super excited about it, but I didn't pay attention to the dimensions on it. And it's like it's a great size for a little one. It's a great little one size one. But it was free. All I had to do is pay for the shipping. And I was like, you know what? It's perfect for like in the car or whatever. And it's got my beautiful little babies' faces on it. So I love it. So download that app, and you can, like, you don't have to put all of your photos on there. You can pick what photos you put in the app and stuff. This month, remember that water bottle I had yesterday? So it's one of those this month. So I'm super excited. And I had to remind myself I couldn't play on my app and like make my water bottle before the show. That was something that I have to do post the show. So I had to stop myself. It was a hot minute, because I was like, oh my gosh, I love this water bottle. I didn't think I'd love it. Remember, I went on a whole rant yesterday, and then that was the free gift this month. Anyway, so download the app. It's fun. And I mean, I don't get any royalties or anything, but unless you're listening, Free Prince, because now I get to take my babies with me everywhere I go. It's not just on a phone. I'm excited. I know, it's lame. I did have to fight the little ones for it, because it's really soft. And they're like, we want this blanket. Our faces are on it. And I was like, yeah, but see, at the top it says, my favorite people call me mom. Y'all aren't mom. And they're like, but we're your favorite people. It is free junk, but it's free junk with your baby's pictures on it. It's free junk with your baby's pictures on it. You know what, Lanny, send me the information. Sandra at texasfullyloaded.com. We'll talk. Maybe we'll have you on the show. I'd love to. So yeah, absolutely. Children are the best. They're fantastic. I love people kind of roll their eyes sometimes. I'm definitely that mom that talks about my kids all the time, even when I'm not with them, because I made them and they're like the greatest thing ever. Sometimes I want to choke them out because they're just like their parents. But that's okay. That's why we made them. They are amazing creatures. And as we talked about, school is getting ready to start here in Texas in the next couple of weeks. Simon, you had to say the P word, and now they're already yelling at me. They're that's a possibility, Miss Patty, but you only get one. So that's why I'm telling everybody, like, you have to download the app. You can purchase additional ones, but they cost extra money. For example, the water bottle, if I wanted to order an extra one, you don't have to pay for the extra shipping on the second one. But the second one's full is nine, like the water bottle, for example, is $19. So I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's not, but you know, we could all what if we all downloaded the app together and then we put the same exact ones, Miss Patty. We're thinking here. We're thinking. I like it. I like where this is going. And FYI, you don't have to purchase the exact same one if you wanted to order a second one. It's called free. Hold on. It's called Free Gifts. Free Prince Gifts. Free Prince Gifts. Now, if you have like the Free Prince app, like for your photos, that's where I found it. Like I was starting to like load up the photo cart, and it was like, "Hey, do you want a free blanket with your favorite pictures on it?" And I was like, psh. And they were like, "All you have to do is download this app." And I was like, "Yeah, all right." So I deleted other apps so that I could upload that app, and I'm so glad that I did. Yes, Free Prince Gifts. Yes, that's great. You don't have to get it, Miss Pammy. It's okay. It's all right. It's fine. We love you anyway. I like having, because I travel so much. I love having things with my baby's pictures on it. I'm excited about it. All you got to do is pay for shipping. I don't know what their hook is. Probably that you'll purchase more. That's probably the hook, because I was like, dang, I should have purchased more, but I wanted to see how it was. I should have upgraded it too. I should have upgraded it to get the bigger one. If I'd have thought about it, I would have thought about the dimensions of it when I ordered it. It is back to socialist word. Enjoy it. I'm sure it'll be just like any other app where it turns into like you have to start paying for other stuff. But so you have to, but I don't know, it's part of their marketing stuff. They have my number anyway, because I've used the Free Prince app before, because it's great. You get like free 4x6s, but then you upgrade, which I always do, because I don't want 4x6s. I want the bigger pictures. So you get the free 4x6, and then you get the bigger pictures. And they're good quality. They come straight to your house. And you can't just like walk in. You remember back in the old days? Let's talk about this for a minute. We need to have this moment. We need to have an old day moment. Remember back in the olden days when you could just take your little one-time use camera, not your phone, and you took it to the film store, and then you got your pictures back in an hour. Or you took the little 35 millimeter. I know you guys do. I know you do, Miss Patty. You took the old 35 millimeter films and you did the same thing, or like the little ones that look like little goggles, and you put them up to your face because you're a dork, right? At least I did. But you can't do that as accessibly anymore. And you used to just be able to like walk into just about any store and still like hook it up to the machine. But I don't like doing that either. I don't like doing that either. I've done it in a pinch. Like when the kids need something and they're like last minute, "Hey mom, we got a project due." I've done that, and I'll do it. It's not my favorite, but I'll do it. They might do that because I'm not going to be on the show next week. I told them they needed to get. Well, hold on. Hold on. I told them they needed to get a blow-up doll and put sunglasses and like one of my t-shirts on it, and then they could just have me sitting next to one of them. It could be like weekend at Bernie's. I won't tell you the rest of the conversation because it went downhill from there, but it's fine. It's fine, I'm sure. It's fine, I'm sure. You know what, Simon? They've been hacking me for a long time, which is why my face constantly is crashing on this show. Okay, so for some real talk. So last night, okay, hold on. Wait. In a couple weeks, August 14th is the first day of school here. Other students around the state of Texas, some have already started going back. Some start next week. Like, it's all exciting, right? Look, do you remember? Hold on. I'm trying to be serious here for a minute, but we have to have this real talk. Do you remember when Black Friday used to be cool? Like, years ago when Black Friday used to be cool? And you would go if you went at like 5 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning for them door busting deals, and they were actually door busting deals, but you would also get stuff like for free. Stop slapping pages. But you would get like all this cool stuff, and like you get like they used to do Santa hats, or they do reindeer antlers, or they do like a Rudolph nose, or Kmart. Kmart had the most banging one. Y'all are gonna make fun of me. It's fine. I don't care. These are what memories are made of. Kmart used to have the most banging one, and it was this big, huge bag or like a popcorn tin, and it was full of coupons, and it was full of like freebies and like all sorts of stuff. Because yes, they're free to me, but I understand that a corporation paid for them, and they've already paid for them. The corporation has paid for them, right? This is their marketing expenditures, right, Charlotte? Yes, see, Charlotte gets it. These are marketing expenditures. And if I didn't get it, then somebody else who was not going to appreciate them or use them until they literally fell apart, which I did. So there it is. There it is. There it is. You know what? I have a have a new Polaroid camera. But the Littles got a hold of it one time when I was out of town, and now it doesn't work anymore. But they loved it, and some of the pictures were weird, which is part of the fun of the Polaroid pictures. And I would I think I'm being stared at. Hopefully y'all heard that, because did you hear her? What'd you say? Nothing. I said, mind your own business. I'm on there. But anyway, that's part of the fun of all of these things, right? And I did. Mom, I have tortured my mother more than once for something free. My mom and I used to have the greatest adventures when I was a teenager. I thought they were the greatest. She probably wanted to murder me, but she loved them. She loved them. I would drag her to Walmart in the middle of the night just because we could. You can't do that anymore. Walmart's not open in the middle of the night anymore, which is very unfortunate for the teenage population who needs to drag their mother out. I mean, I'm sure it's great for the teenage population that's like, sneaking out of the house. Oh, you didn't hear me. That's set. Look, I'll text it to y'all. Oh, she left. I think they're going to get pulled. You may have some Lone Stars. They're Lone Stars. Thank you. Man, it's like she's worse than I was, Mother. Okay, I think they're going to get Polaroid cameras for their birthday, but don't tell them that. Okay, here we are. And yes, we did always have a blast. I would torture my mother with whatever my favorite song was on the air, and we'd sing it over and over and over again. Walmart's not giving away free stuff, unfortunately, but it was worth the torturing of my mother to go to Walmart in the middle of the night for whatever random thing that we needed at midnight. I didn't know that Walmart was open during the day for a long time. That is also an accurate statement. Black Friday is not as fun as it used to be, though. Like the doorbuster deals used to truly be doorbuster deals. They used to be prices you couldn't get any other time of the year. Now they're really not. It's very rare that you get a good Black Friday find, even on some Cyber Monday. Like some of it, every once in a while, you'll get a good one. But at the end of the day, it's like just another Tuesday, which is unfortunate. It's very unfortunate because a lot of families were able to kind of do a little bit more. And like we had a huge tradition. Mom, don't start crying. We had a huge tradition at our home. And yep. See, she knows what I'm going to say. We would get the newspaper on Thanksgiving Day. It was always delivered to Grandma and Granddaddy's house. And after, the prep for dinner was done and we'd have that little bit of lull time. And after, like, as the parade's going on and as it's ending and the men are watching football, we would be going through all of the ads because the newspaper would be like that thick. Maybe a small exaggeration there. Be about that thick. And it would say who was giving away what for free for like the first 500 customers or whatever that would come through the door. And then it would, J.C. Penney's used to do like I think they used to do like an ornament or something. And so then, but then it would also tell you what deals. And so there was like a herd of us. It was my grandmother, her sisters, my mom, my aunt, cousins, like we were all of us, right? Aunt Jeannie would come down. It was a blast. And so all of the women would go shopping on Black Friday. And now not all of us got up at 5 a.m., but the ones that did not regretted it. Sandra Myers, stealing people's elf hats and Rudolph noses. Anyway, and we would just have a blast. But this was before cell phones were really a big deal. So we actually would have walkie-talkies. But unless you're in California or Washington State, and then it's just another Tuesday. So we would go and we would just have so much fun, and so many memories were made. And then afterwards we'd get breakfast at like Cracker Barrel or whatever, and we would discuss the finds. And one of us would walkie-talkie, hey, were you able to pick this up? They have 5 more at this store. Just it was so much fun. And I remember the Cabbage Patch fight of what was it, Mom, like 96. Oh my gosh, there was like grandmas literally throwing punches at each other in the middle of the Walmart for an ugly doll. Like, it was hysterical. You don't get that anymore. Everything's done online. Oh gosh, the Tickle Me Elmo, that little freak. Remember, Mom, we actually had to find one for Grandma T. We found that stupid little red fuzzy weirdo, but we had fun. It was wholesome. It was fun. It was the things that true memories are made of. And I still try to go every year. I think there's only been like 1 or 2 I haven't gone to, but it's because there hasn't been anything to go. Like, there's been nothing to shop for. It's sad. I'm a shop. Don't tell Walter I'm a shopaholic. We'll know if he's watching because he'll be like, I already know. But I do. I love shopping. I can't believe you tricked your mom to taking it. You know what? It was, I don't know what her real reasoning was, but I think at the end of the day, it was just because it was memories that we could make together. I mean, I'm guessing, but I probably am not wrong, because I absolutely, we absolutely, I do the same thing for my boys. Like, if they want to do something random, I'm like, it's very rare that they want to do, but boys are not like girls. But Charlotte is definitely like, hey, can we have some girlfriend time and go do X, Y, and Z? I painted my fingernails pink, as you see, and my toenails are pink and blue right now because she wanted pink and blue. And so this morning when she woke up and she saw my fingernails were not pink and blue also, she goes, why didn't you do them pink and blue? And I was like, I am so sorry. Yeah. Real talk. That's the fun. I think part of being a parent is being able to because my mom used to embarrass the crap out of me also. Like, let's make sure this goes both ways. We make sure that no stones are left unturned. Not for 1 second. And so I do the same thing to my kids, and they're going to do the same thing to their kids. And it's part of the fun. It's part of the fabric of being family. It's part of the fun of the fabric of having memories and exploring and I was known to be quite. One time, my sisters are going to die. Eileen's absolutely going to die. Thank God she's at work and doesn't watch my show. One time we were at Busch Gardens. My mom, she's going to start screaming, laughing wherever she's at. We were at Busch Gardens one summer, and she and her little girlfriend wanted to pick up guys. And so they're like, "Hey, Sandra, how do you pick up guys?" And so I was trying to teach them how to flirt with their teeth. Oh my God. Here we are walking through Busch Gardens, and they're all like, "Okay." And I was like, "Oh." That's part of the fun of being people, is like you get to embarrass the crap out of one another in good fun, in good light. Susan, we've all been there. Like, there's always just been that one thing. I remember one year, Mom, you'll remember what it was. You'll remember what it was. We had something very similar, and it was like a last minute thing that one of the kids snuck out and told SANTA about. And we were just like, "Oh no, what do we do?" And we had like a Christmas miracle. We had a Christmas miracle, and somehow it all worked out perfectly. And so anyway, she does have a weapon, and she's probably really dangerous with it. Anyway, no, don't shoot people. Don't shoot people. Charlotte's going to shoot somebody's eye out, probably mine. Anyway, we always had good times. It was fun. That's the, like I said, this is the summer is one of the great things, times to remember that stuff. When you get ready for back to school, all the back to school memories kind of start flooding. We were sharing some of them with the boys the other day. We were talking about how Alex has never been a shy kid. He's incredibly shy now, but when he was when he was little, like when he was Charlotte's age, all the way up until probably middle school, when he started getting bullied. What? If one of your brothers is awake. Charlotte. Alex didn't know a stranger, and he was never shy. He loved adventure and all that kind of stuff when he was little. Austin, on the other hand, would not get out from underneath of mommy's legs. He was so incredibly shy. And so we were talking about first day of school stuff. And, I was talking about this on the show the other day about how this will be the first year that it's not Alex's first day of school. And I'm like, I'm okay. I'm not crying. It's good. And, we were talking about, just all of the fun stuff that goes along with it. And, it was fun to go through those memories, and then to hear the boys be like, "Wait a minute, I did what?" And, just those kinds of things. It's, sitting around the kitchen table is so important, and it is such a dying breed. It's a dying art, and it needs to happen more. People need to reflect on the memories, the good times and the bad times. It's part of our fabric. It's part of who we are. It's part of what helps keep memories alive. My grandparents have been gone for, Grandma's been gone for, I guess it'll be a decade, 2 decades in February. And Granddaddy's been gone just over a decade. And, the kids don't have those memories, but they might remember one little thing. And so we have to keep those memories alive. Even with my sisters, sometimes they forget Grandma and Granddad. So to have those anchor memories that they can cling on to, it's so important. So you only have a couple more weeks left before they got to get back into their grind. Furbies. It was a Furby. I remember that. Eileen had one of those things. There's a cartoon called Bluey, and they make fun of them. I can't remember what they call them, but talkies, I think is what they call them. And anyway, those things were a hoot. But those are memories. Those are things that people remember getting up and fighting for. And now it's so much different. Everything is all electronic with the kids. It's important to keep toys in their hands and do all of those fun things. This morning, I hate to transition because I could spend the whole entire show talking about this kind of fun. But do we have to talk about real news? I'm okay if we don't have to. This morning, where do I start? Where do we want to start getting angry? Where do we want to start getting angry? Let's see. So last night, I guess let's start with last night. Last night, I got I was scrolling through Facebook. My friend Mimi, y'all know Mimi. Mimi made a post and she said it was about chicken soup. Okay. You know what? Actually, I said I was just going to do this straight on the air. So I'm going to do this straight on the air. So she made a post about chicken soup, and it was somebody's screen record of looking up chicken soup in Facebook. Okay, so you guys can see my screen, yes? So I said, all right, I'll look up chicken soup and see what happens. Chicken soup. Did y'all just watch this happen on my show? Did y'all just watch that happen on Facebook? Do you see what it says? Let me read it to you. It says, so I typed in chicken soup. You can see right there, search results for chicken soup. Child sexual abuse is illegal. We think your search might be associated with child sexual abuse. Child sexual abuse or viewing sexual images or videos of children can lead to imprisonment and other severe personal consequences. Child sexual exploitation causes extreme harm to children. Searching for and viewing abusive and exploitative material adds to that harm. There are organizations that can provide help and support if you're having sexual thoughts about children. If you see this kind of activity on Facebook, report it to us and law enforcement. If you've experienced child abuse, please consider reaching out to a helpline, friend, or trusted adult for support. Now, number one, first of all, for the first time ever, congratulations to Facebook for acknowledging and being proactive in this. Second of all, I messaged several law enforcement members and I said, hey, what's the relationship between chicken soup and child sexual videos or sexual exploitation or whatever? And no, this isn't a joke. And they all said, I got nothing. What do you mean? And so I told them and they were like, what? And I said, I know. Guys, do you remember, do you guys know the term panda bears? Do you know what a panda bear is? Do you know how to look for a panda bear? If you've ever taken a class or watched any of some of these videos or something about child abuse and especially child exploitation abuse, it's something where they ravish these children, and not just children. They also do it to adults. They rape them so severely and so graphically that their eyeballs sink in really bad. They get all blacked out and everything else. And I'll address that in 1 second, Ashley. So this is all something that it's real, right? Okay. And so it's something like in the trafficking world, it's something that we tell people to be on the look for. If you see a child whose eyes are sunken in, they're really dark, they're very pale because they have a panda bear style face. I've never heard the term chicken soup, and I don't know, Mom. I don't know if it's because, and this might sound a little bit graphic for a second. I don't know if it is a choke the chicken kind of concept. And so I don't know if I have no idea. I've never heard of this before. Like I said, I've reached out to law enforcement across the state, and they've never heard of it before. So when we talk about, there are so many ways that they are trying to pollute our children. There's so many ways they're trying to pollute the good in the world. Voila. Chicken soup. Do you remember the books, Chicken Soup for the Soul? Chicken soup for the teenage soul, for the mom soul, for the dad soul, for the grandparent soul, for the teacher soul, for the EMS worker soul. I mean, they had all of these books. And the books were about feel-good stories, right? It was all feel-good stories. They were like little paragraph stories or one-page stories or whatever, just a whole bunch of little stories. And somehow it was a feel-good / turn you to God kind of fill in the blank. I don't know if this is some sort of perversion of that, because looking at little children being raped and molested makes some freaks feel good. I don't know. I don't know what the correlation is there. But what I do know is this is now yet one more thing that we as parents have got to be on the alert for. Now, when I saw look up chicken soup on your Facebook page and see what pops up, I was expecting about 9 million things, and all of them were hysterically funny or a recipe. I never in a second thought that I would get a message like that. This is why it is so vital, and it is so important that we as parents, we as the guardians, pay attention to what's going on. This is why it's important to keep them innocent for as long as we can and to let them be little. Because this world is trying so hard to corrupt them. There's been a saying for as long as I can remember. It's certainly long before social media was a thing. I remember hearing this when I was a teenager. Make sure that you are teaching your kids about Jesus, because the world is going to do everything to drag them away from him. And the Bible's very strict about a lot of things. And I think one of the strictest things one of the sternest warnings that Jesus gave was when the disciples were trying to pull those rotten little kids away from Jesus because he was too busy for them, because he was talking to the grown-ups. Y'all remember that story? And Jesus got up in their face and he was like, absolutely not. These little ones, these are mine. And anybody who hinders them will have to answer to me for that. It is so much our responsibility to protect these children. I think of all of the commandments, of all of the everything, more important than protecting the earth is protecting these little ones, these precious ones, because they are the most precious to our Savior, to our Creator, to God, our King. I use a hashtag all the time on my social media. And the funny thing, whenever I post about my kids, and I put it on my blanket with my babies' faces. And it's for them I will fight. And it's not just my little ones that I fight for. And I hope that it's something that people will actually take some credit into and actually fight for the little ones around them. No matter how big their little ones are. Even if they're 19 years old. It's our responsibility to protect them. It's our responsibility to shield them from the world. It doesn't mean that we are supposed to make sure they have no idea about what's going on the outside. But it's our responsibility to make sure that they can in a healthy way know and understand what's going on, because it is a sick, cruel world. And probably the most cruel thing that we could do is not prepare them for that. Now, does that mean make them feel like there's a dagger waiting for them every time they open the door? No. But is it important for them to realize that there are people in this world that want to do harm to children? Yes. Is it important for them to know that they're in a crowded place, or even playing in the front yard, that a bad person could snatch them and take them away from you? No, that's important to teach them. Now, you don't want them to be like paranoid schizophrenic about it. But healthy fear is important. But with that healthy fear, they need to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that mommy and daddy and grandma and grandpa, or fill in the blank, aunts and uncles, that they are going to hold them and they are going to protect them and they are going to to do everything in their power. And that God forbid something awful happens. We're going to be there together to make sure everything's going to be okay. Put pieces back together. To learn how to heal and to grow from this. It is such a scary, freak out world. We can either focus on the bad or we can focus on the good. My vote is that we focus on the good, but we prepare for the bad. Walter and many other men say this ridiculous phrase, but it's true. Walk into a room and shake every hand. Be prepared to kill whomever's hand you just shook. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. It's a scary realization. So let them be little. Let them have the giggles. Go and fight for that stupid Furby. And find the damn thing. Make Christmases magical and birthdays extreme. Because before you know it, they're going to be 18, 19, 25, 39. Those moments aren't going to be there anymore. We're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to be right back. Go dry your eyes, Mom. with a huge thank you to our amazing sponsors, the Montgomery County Tea Party. Don't forget the first and the third Monday of every month. Be at Citizens Grill in Conroe, Texas. The meeting starts at 6:30. So get there early because they start at like right at they're like 5, 4, 3, 2. It's time to start the tea party. I'm not making that up. I really think you remember that scene in Mary Poppins, like where the captain guy is on top of his house and always blows the cannon at the same time. Welcome to the Montgomery County Tea Party start time. So get there early, gosh darn it. Get something to eat, hug some necks, get a good seat. Senator Brandon Creighton and Representative Steve Toth are going to be there. So you're not going to want to miss out on that. They're hopefully they're going to help explain what the crap happened in Austin this South session and what to expect in the upcoming session. So we'll have to see on that. We are absolutely accepting free stuff. We do not care what it is. We want it, and we want it now. Give us the free stuff. Also, don't forget about the Vietnam Veterans of America. Their service and sacrifice went far beyond a distant shore. They still continue to serve for their communities and their fellow veterans, both past and present. So make sure you check them out. The October event is coming up in Baytown. In fact, Justin said, yes, I have to get that to you, but he's not working to get it to me right now. So it really is, it's in the works. It's happening. I promise. Okay, just pay attention. So search them up, find them out, and get involved. However you can, do it. You're not going to regret it. Let me see. What else? Oh, are you sick and tired of the big box shopping? I know I am. Wow, that was really cheesy. Go to MammothNation.com/#WeThePeopleWork. Sign up. You get an exclusive discount for doing it that way. And then you also, you save money to save money and not have to deal with Black Friday fights, although those are the best. It's not the same. Like, remember, even eBay's not the same. Remember they used to have those bidding wars? It's not as much fun anymore because it's all just so accessible. It's nothing exclusive anymore. Except for going to MammothNation.com/#WeThePeopleWork. That's an exclusive discount. So make sure you sign up for that. You get products from real Americans and real veterans from right here in the USA. And speaking of not free, but very important and incredibly exclusive, might I add, don't forget to go to TexasFullyLoaded.com and then click on the TFL shop. Okay, this is the important part. You want to talk about exclusive, and let me tell you what, these things are going fast, so you better get one. You're not going to regret it. We've got bags, we've got coffee mugs, we've got T-shirts. And they all have our logo and the #WeThePeopleWork on them. So hop to it, hop along. I don't want you fist fighting over them, but if it comes down to it, we'll put it on Facebook. Don't you worry about it. So during the commercial break, also go to TexasFullyLoaded.com and help us out. Support us any way you can. Click on that #WeThePeopleWork button. We truly appreciate you. Not rotten watermelons. No. Speaking of watermelons, today is National Watermelon Day. Did y'all know that? I don't know why, but randomly it popped up on my phone, I think, is where it popped up. Now I do have to show, I need to show you guys something. Hold on. This y'all are gonna like this. Hold on. Wait. Okay. Take 2. That was a lot, wasn't it? You're welcome, America. Today is National Watermelon Day. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, Sandra, it's just watermelons. It's not that big of a deal. No, it's a big deal. Number one, we know the Watermelon King. He's a dear friend. In fact, I think Walter's supposed to be having dinner with him. He talked to him yesterday. I think he's supposed to be having dinner with him like tonight or tomorrow night or something like that, which is awesome because he is a fantastic patriot and a dear friend now. Now, here's where it gets really fun. So a couple, I made this watermelon it was like a watermelon salad, and I sent it, and Walt fell in love with it. I've made it for several events that we've been to now, and but not just him. Ashley freaking texts me. She's like, "Hey, what's this watermelon recipe that you're talking about?" And so I'm trying to put in a picture of it, so that you guys can see it. It's also BLM Day, like Black Lives Matter Day. Are you kidding me right now? Is this a joke? I'm gonna pretend that was a joke. Good. Okay, let me show you this. This was fantastically divine. And it's super simple. It's super refreshing. If you're ever looking for a nice light treat, this is it. Okay. It's a watermelon salad. So you take your watermelon, you cube it up. Okay. Put a little bit of feta, fresh mint. I put fresh corn in mine. Don't cook it. Just pull it right off the cob. Put some nuts. So typically I've been doing like pecans or walnuts or whatever, and that's fantastic. But I had this brainchild idea, and I'm dying to try it, is to use, those chili pistachios, like the chili lime pistachios that you can get in the bag. It's like the little bag at the grocery store or whatever. Put that cucumber, thinly sliced red onion, and then put a little bit of olive oil and balsamic vinegar. Oh, so refreshing. So delicious. You're welcome, America. It's not gross. The boys said the same thing. Everybody who's eaten it loved it. See? I'm here to help the people, Simon. You can have your watermelon eating contest. You can wake watermelon margaritas. I promise I haven't had any today. Whatever. Watermelon sorbets. Do all that fun stuff. It's great. Fantastic. You can just eat it right off the rind. It's fabulous. And you know what? It's good. It's not just good, but it's also good for you. It has a lot of healing properties because it helps with the electrolytes and the juices flowing. And when it's 3 billion degrees outside, Simon, I don't think I can trust your taste buds anymore. With that statement right there, I eat menudo. See? It's I like it best fresh, but it's really good the next day also. It's worth it. It's delicious. But watermelon's really good, especially now here's, I don't think I have the video. So one of the videos that Ken showed us, not Ken, sorry, I was just looking at text message. One of the videos that Noel showed us, it's on Walter's phone, was, yes, it's 3 billion degrees in South Texas right now, Miss Patty. I do apologize. One of the videos that they showed us, so they have the number one watermelon farms in the United States, the number one watermelon producer in the United States. One of their farms is right on the border, the one that I've gone live from before. I did a show there a few months ago, or 2 months ago, a month ago, something like that. Anyway, and they had a video from last year where the illegals were coming through so heavily through their property that they had it ended up being like almost a mile or 2 miles long worth of people. They were stealing the watermelon off of the watermelon patch as they're trampling through it, slicing it up and handing it to all of the illegals. So there's video of all of these illegals stealing his watermelons and eating it as they're tramping through his property. I've been telling you guys, you go buy your watermelons this year, make sure it's a Borders watermelon, because number one, they're probably the best tasting watermelons I've ever eaten. Number two, you're supporting one of the biggest patriots I've ever met. And number three, gosh darn it, they're delicious. So you may as well support true Americans. So they have the U.S. Mexico. It's like the U.S. and Mexico flag on them, because he does have farms it's in all of North America. So he's got farms on both sides. He pays fair wages. He doesn't employ people illegally. Like, he's just a true American patriot. So make sure that you show him some love, because he's a really, really dear friend. Ashley is not a fan of the salad the second day. To me, it's the best the first day. I agree. Okay, where were we? Now I had real news, a couple stories. I pretend once in a while to have real news to share with you guys. And Ken texted me, he goes, "Hey, do the whole show with lazy day stuff, because those are the funnest." And I agree. It is probably definitely the funnest. Don't you think so? Yeah. Hey, I was going to say, you want to show everybody your nails, but they're on your feet, and that'd be really difficult to show everybody, huh? Well, yeah. Oh, that's right. You did paint your own fingernails with silver sparkles. Beautifully done. She painted them all by herself. Great job.
Mom painted my toes.
And Mommy painted her toes. Oh, you're going to show them? Okay. Actually, I haven't forgotten about that awful story that you sent. I need to. Do you have a link for that? No, they can't really see very good. But y'all are going to have to trust that these are the cutest little pink and blue toes with polka dots on them you've ever seen in your life, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. anyway, actually, if you have a link for that article that you or story you were talking about, that'd be even better, so I can share it. And my mom said they're very pretty.
Ooh, I'm rich.
You are rich. Anyway, there was one story that I enjoyed immensely this morning, and it might make your blood boil a little bit, but whether you're voting for Trump or Pence or Ramaswamy, that doesn't matter. But there is one thing I think that we can all agree on is to never, ever, ever, ever vote for Mike Pence. And today, y'all need to see this because it's just y'all are welcome, America. Hold on. I said hold on. Okay.
Just take a pause that day. John Eastman emailed your legal counsel stating, I implore you to consider one more relatively minor violation of the Electoral Count Act and adjourn for 10 days to allow the legislators to finish their investigations and a full forensic audit of what he called the massive amount of illegal activity that has occurred here. They're saying all you needed to do was just take a pause. What do you say to that?
I say that's completely false, and it's contrary to American history, to our Constitution, and to the laws of this country. And I never considered it, Martha. Look, when the first time I heard speculation that as vice president, I'd have the authority to overturn the election by returning or rejecting votes, I frankly dismissed it out of hand. Look, the founders of this country had just won a war of independence against a king. And I was confident as a student of American history that those founders would have never vested the vice president or anyone else with unilateral authority to decide what electoral college votes to count and which not to count. I was clear on that throughout. I was clear with President Trump throughout, all the way up to the morning of January 6th. But let's be clear on this point. It wasn't just that they asked for a pause. The president specifically asked me, and his gaggle of crackpot lawyers asked me to literally reject votes, which would have resulted in the issue being turned over to the House of Representatives, and literally chaos would have ensued. So, Martha, I just people can read the indictment, and frankly, I've said before, I had hoped it had not come to this point. You know, I don't know if the government can meet the standard, the burden of proof beyond reasonable doubt for criminal charges, but the American people deserve to know that President Trump and his advisors didn't just ask me to pause. They asked me to reject votes, return votes, essentially to overturn the election and to keep faith with the oath that I made to the American people and to Almighty God. I rejected that out of hand, and I did my duty that day.
Was that not something fabulous to wake up to? He proved, first of all, there was lots of things that he proved. And I absolutely agree he definitely needs a bigger shovel because clearly he's digging himself quite the little hole. We should just help him do it. But I mean, I guess we don't even have to help him do it. He's literally doing it all by himself. Why are you half naked on my show? Goodbye. Go put on a shirt. He's wearing shorts, just so we know, America. He's wearing shorts. But he knows better. Yeah, can you imagine him saying that out loud? And confidently, too. Now, so there's so much to unpack there. One of the things that this jackwagon had to say is that, that's right, jackwagon. The jackwagon award today goes to Mike Pence. So he makes the statement that it's not up to him to decide if there is enough proof to prosecute. That's on the government. And they have to do their part. The burden of proof, Mike Pence, was not being put on you to determine if the election was done correctly or if things needed to be sorted out. The burden of proof was supposed to be put back on the states. Now, I wasn't going to do this, but since Mike Pence is a freaking moron, I'm going to do it now. So I'm working on an exploratory committee for somebody, and I was looking at some numbers because I'm, when you're doing comparisons and you're doing analyses, you have to you have to have some reference points on what to do with them. Okay. So that way, you know, maybe you should focus here. Maybe you shouldn't focus there. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So I'm on the phone with people on my team yesterday afternoon, and I said, hey, I'm having a hard time printing this up. I know that it's probably the most simple thing on this planet, but it's all I can do to send an email. So if you could help me, I'd truly appreciate it. Sure, of course, not a problem. We're on the phone. We're BSing anyway a little bit about some of the stuff that we're doing. And said friend says, sure. And I'm looking at the page now. I had to send a picture shot. I sent this to Walter because I was like, hey, am I missing something here? Because I feel like this is something that we should talk about. Wrong phone. This phone. I feel like this is something that we should take note of because this happened in 2020. Oh, maybe it isn't. No, hold on. Y'all need to see this picture. It's not here. It's here. This is the problem with two phones, just in case anybody's curious. You don't know where the crap pictures are. Okay, I think it's here. Sharon, Brian, Chris. Here we are. Now, this is straight from, and I took a full shot picture. I know you can't see it, Miss Patty. It's fine. This is Texas election results from the Secretary of State's website. You can go to the Texas Secretary of State's website right now and get this information. Okay. Now, this is under March 2022 or 2022 March 1st Republican primary. Okay. Because like I said, I'm doing my research. That's my job, right? This is what I'm supposed to be doing. Now, right here in the center of the page, it has 100%, 254 counties of 254 counties reporting. Then the second green circle says 100%. Are you ready? Are y'all ready? 100%, 5,032 of 5,026 polling locations reporting. Now, I've said on this show before, math is not my strong suit. But even I know that something's not right with that number right there, okay? And the last time this was updated was March 17th, 2022 at 5:39 and 49 seconds. I know, shocking.
What?
Now, I want you to see this. 5,032 of 5,026. How is that 100%? I mean, I know that we're pushing Common Core math, and maybe this is why. So, but wait, there's more.
Hold on, there's more.
There is absolutely more, Charlotte. I'm glad she's here. Because y'all better hold on to your banana peels. Are you ready? Okay, I need you to see some stuff. I'm only going to talk to you about Bexar County. Now, as you guys know, I ran for District 28. We have a partial of Bexar County. Bexar County has 5 congressional districts in it. 28 is one of them. 23 is another one of them. 21 is another one of them. 20 is another one of them. We have a few. Okay. You ready? All right. Bexar County. Bexar County's, this is their voter numbers. This is from the Secretary of State's website. See right here, Secretary of State, right? Not making any of this up. Very important, informative information. Okay. This is their Bexar County's registered voters. Okay. See how the numbers are going up? We went back in 88. There was about 500,000. Okay. Went down in 90. Kind of weird. Significantly went down, but hey, they're cleaning up their voter rolls. That's important. Okay. Going down. We're going down. Now here in 2020, I want you to see this number right here. This number right here. 2020, 1,189,373 registered voters in Bexar County. Okay. And y'all saw that it says Bexar County. Y'all saw that it says Bexar County. Let me get the right page up here because I was working yesterday and I wasn't. Mike Pence is now forcing me to talk to you guys about this for a minute. Okay. Now, this is the Republican Party primary, which I was in Bexar County for, right? District 28 is part of Bexar County. Okay. I'm going to share this tab with you guys now. I want you guys to see I'm in March 2020. I believe this is the right page for what I'm fixing to show you. You ready? There's 2023. I said 23. I apologize. I don't want to make Miss Patty dizzy or my mother. Hold on one second. It doesn't like me showing truth bombs, so it keeps trying to jump. It's really weird. Okay. All right. I'm gonna get back to sharing with you guys. Here we go. I want you guys to see what I'm clicking. Okay. So here we are. U.S. Representative District 23. We're going to click for the contest details. Okay. Bexar County. Bexar County. I need you to see Bexar County. Y'all see this is Bexar County right here at the top. Total voters for Bexar County. 1,131,650. Now, at first, I was like, maybe this is just the total number in Bexar County, and of that total number in Bexar County, 18,815 people voted. But that was not the case, because when I went to my Bexar County, okay, when I went to my Bexar County, the numbers were different. Okay, so now we're going to go over here to 24. Or I'm sorry, 28. 28. My portion of Bexar County. Now, again, I was uncontested. Wait a second. Now we have a whole different number. There we are. So but the bigger problem is that of this, if you go with these numbers, okay, they don't make themselves complete, because the first Bexar County page that I showed you, right, the total number of registered voters. Oops, hold on. I didn't mean to stop sharing. The total number of registered voters, according to the Secretary of State, is not justified with what they are showing on 23. Not the number that showed up, registered voters. You see what I'm saying? So what they're trying to show you is that over 3/4 of the county is showing up for District 23. We have 5 congressional districts. The Secretary of State cannot justify their own numbers for the 2020 election cycle. Now, this is just one county. I didn't dig into my primary numbers in 2020 because I was the only person on the ballot. Didn't really cross my mind to worry about the primary numbers in 2020 until you start running other comparisons. So for Mike Pence to come back and say, essentially, there was nothing to see here. He didn't look at the numbers. He didn't look at the counties. He didn't look at the total number of people who showed up to vote places versus how many people are registered to vote. And one of the things that we've been talking about, we've talked about breaking up with Eric and all of those kinds of things, but we've also talked about voter rolls. Now, one of the conversations that we've not been able to truly have, or we haven't had online, at least not that I can think of, is that because the states run their own elections, there's no cross-referencing to see if I, Sandra Whitten, who have an address in Laredo, Texas, did not still vote with my old voter registration card that wasn't expired, which, I mean, naturally it is now, in Virginia or California. Well, I've never lived in California, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. The rules are made up and it doesn't matter anyway. So there's no real way to see if you voted in more than one state. Because at the end of the day, a lot of states, you're not allowed to show your ID. when you go in to vote. You just have to show your little Post-it card, right? In Virginia, in Texas, this is my old one. This is my old one. I'll cover up my address here. You just have to show your little card. Make sure all my information is all over here covered up. You just have to show your card and you can vote, right? Or you just walk in and say, hi, my name is Joe Schmo and I'd like to vote. And they go, oh, Joe Schmo? Yep, you're on the records. Here you go. Have a great day. Happy voting. Don't forget your little sticker. So if you play the game right, you, Joe Schmo American, can still vote in a former state that you used to live in, or better yet, that you have property in. Virginia, technically, you have to in Texas also, and I've got affidavits of people who said they didn't have to show their ID. Better yet, this happened to you, Mom, in this last election cycle. It happened to Kevin Yeary, who is a Supreme Court justice here in the state of Texas. His mom had this happen to him, I believe, in 2020, where they showed up to vote in person, and they were told they had already voted. That happened to my mom this election cycle back in 2020, too. Maryland, you don't have to show an ID to vote. California, you don't have to show an ID to vote. In fact, in Illinois, you don't have to show an ID to vote either. At least you didn't used to have to. I don't know if you still do or not. This is for Mike Pence to sit here and say those words on national television. Like, I mean, he doubled down. Wow. It wasn't in your constitutional duty? You're a student of history, and you can't see where the founding fathers would make sure that more than one person has the power to wield to make sure that something's not done right because they just got done fighting a battle with the king? Did he listen to anything that he said out loud? Be careful in Divine. There's some crazy person with a gun. This is the real stuff that is happening in our nation. These are real numbers that can't justify themselves out. The Secretary of State's own website conflicts with itself. What are we going to do, y'all? We talk all the time about we the people work. We the people can't work when we have jackwagons like Mike Pence saying nothing to see here. The president and his crackpot team of lawyers. See, do we trust a lifelong politician, Mike Pence, or crackpot teams of lawyers who make more a year than he does a quarter? I mean, who do you trust, the lawyer or the politician? Because they're both going to lie to you. I mean, I get that. But here was the deal, is it wasn't just Trump's lawyers that were saying this. If you remember correctly, Tony Gonzalez got up there and he got chewed up one side and down the other, the whole plane wide back from Washington, D.C. after January 6th. Dan Crenshaw, the same thing. Why didn't y'all stand for the president? It wasn't just standing for the president. It was standing for the Constitution. It is not the federal government's right to oversee an election. It is the states, but it is the federal government's right to say, you know what? There's some discrepancies. Let's send it back before we certify it. Vote for Trump. Vote for DeSantis. Vote for Ramaswamy. The rest of those jackasses, they don't deserve to even have their name on the ballot. They are globalists. They are not for America. They are pushing the one world agenda, and they are only for self-gratification and the demise of our republic. So sorry, Simon, you're the real champion here. This is why we fight. This is why we dig in. This is why we break nails and get dirty, and we don't stop this fight. Because we can't, because they have more money than we do. It's like, if you remember all those little Disney shows from the 90s where it was like the little like Mighty Ducks and all that kind of crap, and they lost every single game until they started believing in themselves. Yes, they had the worst equipment on the field or on the hockey rink. Yes, half of them couldn't even skate. Welcome to the grassroots. But once they started realizing that the other teams were hidden behind expensive designer uniforms and arrogance, the Mighty Ducks started winning some games. When they got their heads out of their butts and started working together as a team. I talk often on this show and in person, on the phone, doesn't really matter, about a civil war that the Republican Party of Texas is currently fighting. And the problem is that it's not just the Republican Party of Texas, it's the Republican Party, the GOP. We're fighting a civil war against ourselves. I've said it before, we're exactly where the Democrats were when they assassinated Kennedy. They were in the middle of their own civil war. But this time, instead of assassinating a president, we're assassinating a nation. Because the one world agenda, this new world order, it just sounds so much easier. It's so much more kumbaya.
Bye.
Not yet.
When?
But at the end of the day, this kumbaya, this, the only ones that are going to be suffering is us. It's the very people who go, as long as I don't pay attention to it, as long as I keep my head down and I focus in on what I'm doing, it doesn't really matter. It's all going to work out fine. I just keep on focusing on my day in, day out and making sure nothing changes in my world. I can't affect what's going on in the rest of the world. I just got to focus in on what's right here. But the problem is that when we do that, then everyone loses. The second we look away, they change where the shell is in the cup. And then you go, that's all right. I didn't really need that shell anyway. And we forget that other people are relying on that one small detail that only we saw.
Mom.
There is when we can you turn that down? There's a whole thing at play here. And it's not just us. Have you ever looked at something and I've had the crystal jellyfish ball approach at some things where I've had the amazing God-given foresight in something. And it was just like, oh yeah, why don't you just X, Y, and Z? And then like everybody in the room just kind of turns and looks at you and they're like, where'd you come up with that? And I mean, I looked at it. It was like literally like, it just made sense to me. I wasn't trying to make a difference. It seemed like that made sense to me. there's a whole bunch of people who are so focused on right here that if they looked up for 5 seconds, they'd say, oh, wait a second, that makes sense. Like, why don't we just try that? And you never know. You might be that person that makes that difference in this process. You're welcome. We're very bipolar on this show. I'm so sorry. But this is what we were created. We were not created to just live our life and die. Number one, like that's not it. Like we were, there's country songs and sayings and memes and all of the crap, and it's like it's not the two dates on either side of that dash that made the difference. It was what happened in that dash that made the difference. And yes, I'm not telling you to neglect your family. I'm not telling you have to take up for a life on the road. Everyone has a different part of this battle they have to fight. But if you're not fighting your part of the battle, and we needed you to, and you may not know what your part of this battle is yet. It could be something simple like giving up one day. Going and sitting for a poll watcher. Or a few days because you got to have your training. Well, I mean, according to the rules, you're supposed to have your training, but as we know, the rules don't matter. It's just whatever you want to do. Because clearly the Secretary of State doesn't care either, because when you have a 17-year-old judge in Zapata County and they get called on it and they say, yeah, well, you win some, you lose. There's nothing we can do about it. And then you have nothing but election fraud in that area. And they're like, hey, we were trying to get help and nobody would help. Maybe it is your responsibility to step up then. If you saw a child that was fixing to burn its hand on a stove, would you just be like, wasn't my kid? Would you be like, oh, no. Sorry, I wasn't trying to scare you, sweetheart, but don't burn your hand on that. I mean, like, what are you willing to do? I'm not asking for a sacrifice. I'm asking for you to peek up. I remember one time, this is kind of funny and also stupid, all in the same breath, so you're welcome, America. One time, right after Mandy and I got married, we were living in Guam, and we used to love puzzles. Like, I love puzzles. I haven't done them in forever because now I have kids and dogs and cats, and that doesn't match. None of it mixes, okay? But we were Spitspot. He was doing a puzzle, and I walked through the room, and he had been just like stumped. He'd been sitting there for like half an hour and hadn't moved. He literally had not moved. Yes, we did. His mom was not just a Democrat, but she was also the clerk for the county. Mm-hmm. That's the same one. That is correct, Ashley Burke. Anyway, he'd been looking, and he'd literally just been sitting like this for like half an hour. And so finally, I just walked by and I randomly picked up a puzzle piece and I put it exactly where it needed to go. And he just looked at me and he threw the whole puzzle in the trash can. He threw the whole damn puzzle in the trash can. And he said, I said, why did you just throw the puzzle away? And he goes, because this was my puzzle and you weren't supposed to fix it. And I was like, yeah, but you literally sat there for forever. I mean, this is just a dumb thing from 20 years ago, 21 years ago. But this is how dumb this process is in America. Somebody else can problem solve, but we're so stuck in our own, I'm going to do this, that we don't want to accept the help. We don't want the extra set of eyes because it might prove that we may not have been as good as we thought we were. I tell people all the time, like, what you see is what you get. Like, this is as good as it's getting, okay? But because we have to still be humble. We still have to be kind. I mean, don't come in and be a jerk and be like, you're like, don't be that person. Sometimes that's needed, right? Just like I talk about Jesus all the time. Like, sometimes he needed to flip a table and sometimes he just needed to sit down and doodle in the dirt. It's the same thing here. We can either let these Mike Pences and whatever that dumb heifer's name is from South Carolina, the dumb heifers from South Carolina, because Tim Scott's not doing much better. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's nice. They're all nice. They're politicians, for Christ's sake. Of course, they're nice. But how are they behind closed doors? How are they to their people? What is their message really? I tell people all the time, when Monica De La Cruz was getting her divorce, we found out she was getting divorced. I said, man, I know how mean she is in person. I can't imagine how awful she is behind closed doors. She's mean as a snake. I literally would watch her be like, oh my gosh, how are you? And then be on the phone or be where she didn't think there were cameras and just be awful. It's up to us, America, to make a difference. I am glad you were nice to the lady from Laredo, which is all I am. I'm just the lady from Laredo. We're going to have some fun in just a couple minutes. See what I went a little. Ken said, "Just be fun, Sandra," and I was. And then I had this Mike Pence situation. I had to show you what we found, what we're going to continue to find. It's not okay. We cannot allow them. The big lie is that all of the politicians were repeating the same thing. Miss Patty. Everyone knows there's no way I could be a jackwagon. We cannot allow them to continue the big lie. Look, you guys know I'm not supporting Trump for the primary this go round. But I'm not going to sit here and allow them to lie about what we all witnessed either. Because I'm not a jackwagon. We're going to take a commercial break. We're going to be right back. a huge thank you to our amazing sponsors, the Montgomery County Tea Party. Don't forget the first and the third Monday of every month, be at Citizens Grill in Conroe, Texas. The meeting starts at 6:30 sharp, so get there early so you can hug some necks, meet some new people, meet some old people. Wait, you know what I mean. Just get there. You're not going to regret it. Also, don't forget about the Vietnam Veterans of America. Their service and sacrifice went far beyond a distant shore, and they still continue to serve their communities and their fellow veterans, both past and present, and their families. So make sure you find a local group and get involved with them because they need you just as much as we need them. And welcome home. Don't forget about mammothnation.com/# we the people work. Get out of the big box shopping and get to the Patriot shopping. I just rebranded them. They're welcome. So Arthur cheered. He liked it. So I wasn't saying you, Ms. Patty. There's old people that show up. I didn't say you. And don't forget to go to TexasFullyLoaded.com. You'll find all the important stuff that we talk about here on the show. Mammoth Nation. Most importantly, the TFL shop. Gets yourself a t-shirt and some coffee mugs and all that fun jazz. Click on that hashtag We the People Work button so that you can support us directly. You can also go to PayPal, Cash App, Venmo at Texas Fully Loaded. And now for my most favoriteest person that I didn't make. Hey, buddy boy, what you doing?
Just another day out here on the boda.
Yeah? I'm liking the hat thing you got going on. You're not usually a hat person. Are we going to move you up into a cowboy hat before we know it?
I already have a cowboy hat, but people on the TV don't get to see it.
Oddly enough, neither do the people off of the TV. Just
That's right. Remember, don't call me a cowboy until you see me ride.
odd. Very odd statement, Walter. So what are you doing?
Just my usual. Just keeping Texas one step closer to safety and security.
Hey, somebody's got to do it. It's a thankless job, and you do it well. Now, safety man Walter West, I'm very concerned. Simon started his chugging game because we use some buzzwords on this show, and he might actually die.
What's the word?
I said primaries, jackwagon, and I think I said, what was the other word for the day?
I don't know, but is that H2O he's drinking or Shinerbach? Which one?
Well, he claims that it's water, but I think it's actually moonshine.
A little bit of ranch water, maybe.
Maybe a little ranch water, keeping it clear.
That's what she said.
No, so it was funny. I was talking earlier about I don't know that you saw the Mike Pence video. It's on my Facebook page, but Mike Pence was talking about how he did his constitutional duty, and it's not he can't send it back to the states. It wasn't a pause. Blah blah blah. So then
that's actually incorrect, and he keeps using the term that Dan Crenshaw uses. We can't overturn the election, which is exactly correct. Never asked to overturn the election, asked to make sure the certification was proper since it was all rushed. And yet again, he punts it to the pundits.
He did. Well, then I told them about what we found yesterday in Bexar County. I know. That's why they're like, now you have to keep it fun for the rest of the show, because I stressed them all out for the last 45 minutes about this Mike Pence / Bexar County stuff.
Well, and Bexar County that's a big snot rocket that needs to be blown out anyway. So,
the worst part? I don't know that people love to harp on Harris County and what's happening there. And fair, because there's a lot happening in Harris County, but the problem is they're putting so much emphasis on Harris County that they refuse to acknowledge the corruption in, again, anything south of I-10. And guess what Bexar County is? It's like, 10 goes right through the center of it, but
smoke and mirrors. It's just it's the shell game. Let's keep everyone's attention over here while we're moving all this aside. And remember, we've got Jane Nelson. She's the former Republican senator for Senate District whatever up there, and she's now the Secretary of State, and she's been confirmed. So it's now her job, and it's now the grassroots job to make sure they contact her. To include, there's some other organizations doing some things. Who is it? There's a couple of movements that are moving around the nation, actually, which is each county to, instead of going through the computer systems and through all the other stuff, to do hand paper ballots. May not work in the big cities, but you know what? It'll definitely work in the smaller cities. I know down there in Webb County where you're at, they got all the new Facebook computers that Mark Zuckerberg sent them, and they bought into those hook, line, and sinker. So let's see if you have any fair elections down there.
Yes. Well, I mean, only time shall tell, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that we have. I don't think we've had one fair election down here in a very long, long time.
No.
Is Pence a friend of Christ's? Possibly. Quite possibly.
Actually, you know what's funny is the night of the election, I think it was, is when Chris. Wait. Are you talking about Chris Christie? Or are you talking about?
No. Brian Christ.
Yeah. You know what? They're all probably the same kit and caboodle together. A couple more.
I do.
On a moron wagon.
Are you trying to save Simon's liver? Morons in the moron wagon? The moron mobile.
No, I was talking about Pence and Christ. So.
Yeah, I know. But you didn't say jack wagon. You said moron wagon. So I was asking if you were trying to save poor Simon's liver. I do like moron mobile, though. I feel like we need to make that a normalized saying now.
Are you kidding me? It was in the 4th of July parade in Montgomery County about a year ago.
What's my dog?
The moron mobile?
Dying.
What do you got back there?
Anywho, on to lighter. Huh? No. What are you going to say? You look like you're dead. Is it a little warm out there, Bao?
A little warm, but up since about 4 a.m. So yeah, it's I'll be done at midnight.
Oh, God. Wow. So Ashley's concerned about you, Walt. She said that
Why
there's
is
some
Ashley?
murders happening in Austin. Well, for several reasons, I'm sure. But she said that she sent me a TikTok video. It's about 4 minutes long, or I would play it. Well, I guess we technically have time for it, but the guy's kind of bland. But he talks about these series of murders of men they're being found in Lady Bird Johnson Lake, right there in Austin, within so far of their vehicles. And so there's been
Any
4 of them
politicians?
in the last several months. It's a serial killer.
Any of them?
And half of it is the serial killer.
Any of them politicians?
I don't know, Ashley. Is it politicians? I didn't. There's 6 total, but they have the same MO as what happened in New York.
What happened in New York?
It's intense.
What happened? in New York?
Murder. You want me to play the TikTok video?
Oh, is there a pattern of some sort? I mean, what's that?
Well, yeah, it's in the TikTok video.
Well, sorry, I don't exactly have Elon Musk following me around with a satellite dish, so some of us don't get signal when we're down on the Rio Grande in the canyon.
Ashley said no one knows where Brooks' land graph has been at the times of the disappearances. Just saying, LOL.
He's probably with his girlfriend or his training friend, whichever one that one is.
Miss Patty said she's not having fun. Look, I went from politics to murder.
It's all the
It's
same,
like-
right?
Well, I guess it technically is. Today is National Watermelon Day. I don't know if you saw my text message, but I shared your picture of that watermelon salad I made. Simon said that it sounds disgusting, and he's somebody who enjoys menudo. And Ashley was like, absolutely not.
Hey, what day is it?
It's National Watermelon Day.
Actually, you need to make Simon a bowl and drop it by the next time you see him. Simon, I thought the same thing, but it was awesome. It's very healthy too.
See, I know. So I did see a video on Facebook, and they took a watermelon and they made it like a tri-tier cake, and then they added fruit all on the outside. There was no icing; it was all fruit, but it looked like a tri-tiered cake. It was super cute, and I'm like, I need to do that. I mean, I don't know when, but then I was like, I should.
Well, yeah. Sounds like something Jason Vaughn would have at his wedding.
It kind of does put a new twist on the fruitcake song, doesn't it?
That it does, and all them fruitcakes that like that sweet, juicy stuff.
Ew, Walt.
I said sweet, juicy stuff.
Ashley's over here talking about trannies. She was trying to say, of course I do, and for some reason it came out as tranny I do. Tranny, of course I do.
What happens when Granny is a tranny?
Oh, wait. So, okay, so a little bit ago, Simon said that there was somebody with a gun walking through Divine along the highway. Yes. And so now he said he's following the Divine story. There's someone trying that in a small town right now. Are you serious? Are they really like?
Have they been to Divine before? Hey, it may be one of the Divine residents. You never know. Fire chief down there is a pretty good dude.
Yeah, no, it's no, they're good people in Divine, so I hope everything's really okay. I hope no one's actually trying that in a small town, but in that small town, but they will meet their maker if they do. Miss Patty's yelling at you. I don't know what you did. But they had something to do with sweet and juicy stuff, but I don't know that for sure.
Oh, don't worry. I'll have more before the end of the day.
Well, a watermelon, that is. He said that Walmart, school, and several businesses are on lockdown, so I guess something is happening down there. So, Simon, we've got like 10 more minutes, so keep us posted for the next 10 minutes on what's happening there. So Walt, what else do you have going on in your neck of the woods? Tell us something fun. We're not allowed to talk about serious stuff, apparently.
Yeah, 118 to 129 degrees. That's what we're getting down in the canyons right now. So it's hotter than a mother in a microwave.
Interesting. Oh, gosh. Guess who is supporting Will Hurd the turd?
Who's
the
that?
Future Leaders Fund. As soon as I opened up Facebook, it was like the second thing I saw.
Will Hurd. What for what's he running for?
Oh, he thinks he's running for president.
Ha! All right, well.
We need Will Hurd on the GOP presidential debate stage. Chip in $1 now to show your support.
He got out of the GOP before he got Tony Gonzalez. And that would be before he got censured, because he was headed straight for it.
Ugh, gross. Will Hurd does not need our support. Will Hurd needs to go away. That's what needs to happen there.
Poor Will. The other carpetbagger in 23 that Texas has had for far too long.
Yes. Walter, Simon is trying to tattletale on me.
Why is that?
Because I may have mentioned on the show that I might be a shopaholic. But I told him not to tell you. And so now he's told you anyway.
Yeah, well, just check her bank account. I'm sure she's got plenty saved up.
It was free. I'm a shopaholic for free stuff.
Is that why your car looks the way it does?
What's wrong with my car? It's clean right now. You even saw it. You were shocked when you got in it.
When did I get in your car?
And it's been a couple weeks. I'm sure it's probably a mess right now.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, it was clean.
Yeah. See, there's that time thing again. That's why you're never late.
Time thing. I'm never late.
You're just behind
most
the
of the
hour.
time. How much did it cost you? What? Oh, my free blanket. Look, you haven't seen this yet, Walter. I just got this. It was free. There's an app where you get something free every month, and you can put your it's pictures. See, isn't that cute? It's got the kids. And they're making fun of me for it now. I did laugh at myself because the free one was quite smallish. But look, it's a nice little office. See, it's cute and it's soft. I told Arthur I wasn't mad about the size of it because I could put it in my car. And he goes, "You can't snuggle under a blanket while you're driving?" I was like, "It's gonna snuggle while I'm driving." But it's a new app. You have to download it. It's water bottle this month. We're getting one. I'm getting one. I don't care what y'all do. It's gonna be cute, and y'all are gonna be jealous. See, did you find the dead fish that Simon put in your car? I shared a meme a while back. This has been a while ago, and I thought Walter was going to murder me because it said, I'm not ashamed that my car is a little bit messy, because if you need something, it's in there. Cold and need a coat? Boom, I got you covered. Need a hair tie? Got you covered. Need a Band-Aid or surgical set? Got you covered. Walter didn't find it funny. I thought it was hysterical.
Hair ties. Those are actually very useful.
They are useful. Thank you. You never know when you need to put your hair up. You look so tight. I've probably got about 2 or 3 hairbrushes in there at the moment. But they're Charlotte's. But I mean, not that I can't use them. I'm just saying, it's got Ariel on them. I'm not an Ariel person, but she loves Ariel.
Ariel's a racist.
Not anymore. She's black. It's also BLM Day. Ken sent me that when I said that it was National Watermelon Day. It's also it's also BLM Day.
And what color is Ken?
Ken is not. Ken's black. He's not white. I was going to say he's not white. Ken's black.
As long as you qualify that before your fans assume that your racism is escaping you.
Yes, clearly. I'm known for my racism on this show.
Mm-hmm. The slowest person in the race. There she is.
Oh, painful, Walt, painful. I know how to use the hairbrush. Charlotte doesn't, but I certainly do. Say vato.
Vatos
Vato.
locos forever.
Oh God! See, now look what you started, Simon. What was that?
Yeah.
What's that, Walter? Is that your gang signs?
Simon, I was an extra in that movie when it came out. That's how old I be's.
What movie? Don't do this.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Oh gosh, here's your fan club. I knew I saw you before.
What's that?
Simon, he said, I knew I saw you before.
Yeah,
I'm also lost. What movie?
Vatos locos forever.
Okay. That's what we're gonna do.
You'll have to Google it.
Just
Google has
Google Vatos Locos forever.
There you go. Forever. Yeah.
Oh, that's literally the name of the movie. Vatos Locos? A thriller? Oh, wait a second. Maybe it's this. Don't make fun of me. He was a body double. Maybe. Simon's laughing at me.
Yeah, so am I. Yeah.
Clearly.
I picked the wrong day to stop sniffing glue.
Well, it's never too late to stop. Is it blood something? Blood in, blood out? Vatos Locos for okay.
Blood in,
All
blood
right.
out. Vatos locos forever. And that's not the name of the movie, by the way.
According to YouTube, it is. Blood In, Blood
Really?
Out from 1993.
What's it about?
Hold on.
It's about growing up in East LA.
Oh yeah,
You know,
that's
I went
definitely
down.
you with that beard and the tattoo on your neck. Yes. Unfortunately, it's not available for streaming right now. Very sad for everyone involved, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go to this afternoon after your nap.
Too much fun, that's for sure.
Oh God, yes, he was in fact in Roadhouse, Miss Patty.
Oh yeah.
That's his favorite movie. Please don't.
You just gotta be nice.
Look, this is what I need America to see right now because Walter loves this movie. He does this ridiculous nonsense every once in a while where I have to repeat stupid things that he says all the time so that he knows that I'm listening. And one of them was, I think I still have it on here. Hold on.
Be nice.
All you have to do is follow 3 simple rules. 1, never underestimate your opponent. I'm not looking at you. 2, expect the unexpected. 2, take it outside. Never start anything inside of the bar unless it's absolutely necessary. And 3, be nice. Now, this is actually saved on my phone in my pictures as a favorite because he would make me. What are the 3 rules? What are the 3 rules? It was like right after we met. In fact, the screenshot it's dated for August of 2019. That's kind of funny. What's his favorite movie? Hate that movie. It's so dumb. It's not that it's dumb. I don't know why people. It's not awful. There are worse movies. Like what was that one stupid movie about the? It was another Patrick Swayze movie. I think this one was probably far worse than Roadhouse. It was where they were all like in this little town, and then the Russians invaded or something, and then like they all were in the woods. I mean, okay, it's very accurate to right now.
Wolverines! Oh my gosh. How can you denigrate the memory of Patrick Swayze this way? A true Texan, by the way. A true Texan.
Did he go to your high school?
He graduated from my high school. He signed my yearbook. And no, I'm not that old. He came home for the 50th anniversary.
I knew you weren't that old. Because he'd be like,
His mom's
70?
He'd be in his late 60s, early 70s. Okay. Yeah. He'd be right around 70, somewhere in there.
Okay.
His mom had a dance studio right down the street from my school. So
did you dance there? Did you take dancing lessons there?
No, I took karate next door, jiu-jitsu, aikido. I am multi-talented, multi-flavored.
Here's my mother. Roadhouse is absolutely the greatest Patrick movie ever.
Thank you.
What is this? Is this a Patrick Swayze fan club show now? Alex just said yes from the other room. I can't talk smack about Patrick Swayze. Mom will remember this. Mom was at the year I turned. Was it my 13th summer? Because I was going to make it a point to watch all the PG-13 movies possible. But I did Dirty Dancing every night for a month, and then I did what's the other movie? Dances with Wolves. I did that every night for a month too. I think there was one more.
Dirty Dancing every night for a month.
Every night for a month. That was my favorite movie. I agree, Miss Patty. It was his best movie. Ghost was a good one. That one makes me cry, though.
Ghost?
Yeah. No? You're not a fan?
Ghost was for pansies.
Oh, that means he cried.
Who? Not me. I didn't cry when old Yeller died.
Yeah. But you did cry in Ghost. It was a little stupid, but it was kind of, well, you know, is it because she got creeped out when Patrick Swayze entered Whoopi Goldberg's body? Did that creep everybody out? And then she was like all getting handsy with his wife.
That's the last time she was straight, was when Patrick Swayze dug into her. She became a racist after that.
She went out with a bang then. Oh, so. Simon said like he got creeped out when the Shadow Demons came out, and that was kind of weird. But I mean, it's
You kids. You kids.
I just read what you posted, Miss Patty.
What'd she post?
She said, no, Walter, she didn't dirty dance every night. I watched Dirty Dancing every night for a month.
I bet she did.
No. Oh, look at the time. It's time for us to go. Well, tomorrow's Federal Defense Friday, so make sure you join us for that. We'll have our chase. It was, in fact, the time of my life. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
I had the time of my life.
Bye.